It's always great to see some positive data out of the South African agricultural sector. And today, May 11, 2026, we received some excellent data out of the South African Agricultural Machineries Association, telling us about how the tractor sales and the combined harvester sales were like in April 2026. The tractor sales were up 4% with 548 units. Their combined harvester sales were up by 13% with about 52 units sold in April 2026. We are looking at April this year comparing to April 2025. So this paints an encouraging picture, especially because if you looked at the figures for March, we had seen a bit of a dip, which was the first dip after 14 months of straight strong sales, specifically in terms of the tractors. But I think in an environment like today, we have to interpret these numbers slightly differently than in the past. In the past, we would look at the strong tractor sales, and our thinking will be that they are telling us that one, we are in a reasonably better financial conditions in the sector, but also the confidence that farmers are having about their operating conditions in the sector in general going forward. But I do think that in the numbers that we have at the moment, there is also a bit of some of the delivery of the orders that were made some time ago, because there's a lot more risks that we are looking at the moment. And the past seasons were great in South Africa. We benefited from the La Nina rains. In the 2024-25 season, for example, agricultural activity was excellent in the country, and the year before that, and that boosted the farmers' incomes and the folks who were able to make all of these purchases that we are seeing at the moment. Even in the current season that we are ending, the 2025-26 production season, things are looking reasonably well. We have a record grain harvest around 20.8 million tons. You look at the sugarcane industry in terms of the output, the numbers are looking well in fruits and vegetables. But the prices of all of these agricultural commodities are pretty much under pressure at the moment. And that's to be expected at the time of ample yields. But the challenge about today is also that we see the rising input costs ahead of the 2026-27 production season linked to the Middle East war. Fuel and fertilizer prices are rising. And at the same time, though, we are also just seeing that there is uncertainty about the weather conditions with the La Nina that is expected also in that season. So I think while the sales are strong at the moment, but looking ahead, I'm a bit worried because of that uncertain weather outlook and the rising input costs that are linked to the war. So we can see these strong sales, but as to whether they hold up into the levels that we are seeing at the moment, I think that's something that we may not actually see. I think later on in the year, we could begin to see these sales softening and not registering the strong figures like what we have seen in the past. But at the moment, though, on what we are looking at, it's really a reflection of the excellent activity of the past and the fact that some of these orders may be delayed. But I think we must not take away from the current season that from a volumes perspective, we are looking reasonably well. But of course, then there's all of these issues that may negatively affect the season when we look ahead. That's really the encouraging numbers that we are seeing in terms of the tractors and the combined harvester sales. The next season in South Africa, in terms of grains and oilseeds, starts in October this year. But of course, I think the war in the Middle East and the input cost, it will be important to get a sense of where the fertilizer prices and everything is going from around July, as it will be closer now to the period where folks will be placing their orders to prepare for the next season. And I think even about the weather conditions from around that time, we will get much more clearer as to whether this will be a strong or a weaker El Nino. But back again to the numbers that we are receiving this morning from the South African Agricultural Machineries Association, the numbers paint an excellent picture. Tractor sales are up, combined harvester sales are up, and people need those combined harvesters because we have an ample crop to be harvested, especially in terms of summer grains across South Africa.